I never imagined I'd find myself here, alone, telling a story that feels like a nightmare I can't wake up from. My name is Jenna. I'm 31 years old, and I lost everything over one weekend. A weekend I thought would just be a harmless escape, but ended up destroying my entire life. If you asked me back then, I would have sworn I was doing nothing wrong. But the truth is, I lied, I betrayed, and now I'm left picking up the pieces of a marriage that's gone to dust. Brad, my husband, has always been the rock in my life. He's hardworking, loyal, and the kind of man any woman would be lucky to have. We've been married for almost 10 years, raising two amazing kids. Emma, who's 8, and Jake, who's 5. I love my family more than anything. But beneath the surface, I felt restless. Not angry or desperate, just empty. Like I was losing a part of myself I never even knew was missing. Then, out of nowhere, I got a message from Aaron. My college ex. We hadn't spoken in years, not since graduation. When he reached out, I didn't hesitate to reply. We'd had a great time together back then, and a part of me longed to reconnect. Aaron invited me to a birthday party he was throwing in California. The catch? He said he'd cover my flight, and I could stay with him for the weekend. At first, it felt weird. Like I was stepping into dangerous territory. But then I started convincing myself it was just a fun getaway I deserved. A break from the ordinary. I didn't tell Brad the truth. I lied and said I was visiting an old sorority friend who was in town for an event. It felt like a harmless excuse. I told myself it wasn't cheating. I was just catching up with someone from my past. Brad seemed okay with it. He kissed me goodbye and told me to have fun, but I saw the doubt in his eyes. He wasn't convinced, and honestly, neither was I. The weekend in California was a whirlwind. Aaron and I laughed, drank, and wandered the city like teenagers. The chemistry between us was undeniable, and even though I tried to hold back, I felt that old spark reignite. I kept telling myself I was just having fun, nothing serious, but deep down I knew the truth. I was playing with fire. Saturday night changed everything. After a few too many drinks, things escalated. I didn't plan it, didn't want it, but I didn't stop it either. The guilt hit me hard the next morning. I wanted to erase the night, pretend it never happened. Aaron and I didn't even talk about it. I told myself I was just blowing off steam, and that weekend was over. But it wasn't over. When I came home, Brad was different. Cold. Silent. He gave me a look that cut through me like a knife. When he asked how the trip went, his voice was flat. I tried to play it cool, talking about the kids and normal life, but I could feel the tension building, thick and suffocating. Brad started asking questions. Little things that didn't seem like much but made my stomach twist in knots. How did I book the flight? Did I use points or a credit card? I dodged his questions, trying to keep the peace, but I knew he was piecing things together. Then came the bank statements. No flight charges. His suspicion grew into certainty. One night, Aaron texted me again. I shouldn't have replied, but I did. His flirtatious jokes from college sent a rush through me. A reminder of that fiery weekend. Then he called. I whispered into the phone, trying not to wake Brad. I miss you. The words slipped out before I realized how loud I was. Brad stirred beside me, pretending to sleep but clearly awake, watching. From then on, things fell apart. Brad watched me closely, his silence heavier than words. When he asked to borrow my phone, I handed it over, terrified. He scrolled through messages, his expression darkening. When he finally looked up, he asked, "Is there something you want to tell me?" I froze. The blood drained from my face. I lied again, but the truth was in his eyes. He'd seen Aaron's texts, the calls, the lies. That night, Brad lay awake, staring at the ceiling, while I wrestled with the mess I'd created. I tried to convince myself I wasn't the villain, that I was just searching for something I'd lost. But Brad was done pretending. He called Aaron himself, and I listened helplessly as he got the truth straight from him. When Brad came back, his face was pale, his eyes colder than ever. "Are you seriously going to keep lying?" he asked quietly, but his words carried a fury I couldn't ignore. I wanted to scream, to run, to fix what I'd broken, but I had no ground to stand on. Brad had all the evidence. Aaron had confirmed everything. He told me he couldn't keep doing this. Couldn't live with the betrayal and lies. He said he was filing for divorce, and he was going to seek full custody of the kids. The air between us was thick with pain and regret. I tried to reach out to Aaron, desperate for answers or maybe forgiveness. But his voice was cold, distant. "I'm done," he said. Whatever this was, it's over. I was left with nothing. No family, no Aaron, just the heavy weight of my own mistakes. Weeks later, I sit here in a silent house that used to echo with laughter and love. Brad is moving on, and I'm left alone, haunted by the choice I made. I threw away the life I had for a moment's thrill, and now all I have is regret. If you're listening to my story, please learn from my pain. No secret, no escape, no fleeting moment of excitement is worth losing the people who truly love you. I lost my family, my marriage, and the person I thought I was, all because I was looking for something I couldn't find outside my own home.